Okay, so for the assignment 4, we want to add interactivity to this treasure chest so that it basically behaves like the light bulb. So if you've done assignment 3 correctly and your treasure chest opens and closes like I'm about to show here, if it opens and closes back and forth, you've set it up correctly to add the interactivity. So let's jump over to the light bulb, load that scene. We're going to open up this FSM, and we're going to save this as a template. So save template. Let's go up to our assignment 4 folder, and I've already got a template here. So just name it your first initial, last name, 2-state toggle template in your assignment 4 folder. And it will do that. Okay, no, we don't want to do that. Let's go to assignment 4 now. Sorry, let's go to assignment 3. Let's do file, save scene as, and make a folder for assignment 4, and save a scene for assignment 4. Now let's hop in. We're in assignment 4, and here we have this template here. Select our treasure chest, open up its FSM. Oops. Okay. Let's rename the FSM from animation test to interactive treasure chest. And let's give it a description. Open and close the treasure chest with a mouse click. Okay. Over here in this FSM window where we build things, let's right click, paste template, general, and there's the 2-state toggle template. Say yes, we want to replace the start state, and we can delete these two guys up here. Okay, so we just pasted in the light switch template. Let's hit play and let's get some errors here. This will inform us on what we need to do. It's taking a second to compile. Okay, come out, and we've got errors all over the place. This is expected, and this is okay. So let's take a quick look. What are we looking at for errors? We are looking at game object requires a renderer component. Okay, so the set material float doesn't know what to do. It has no rendering component. Same thing there. Looks like it's all related to no renderer components. Okay, this is pretty easy. Let's take a quick look at our hierarchy here and see if we can track down where our renderer components are at. So here at the top level of our hierarchy, let's expand this, we have the FSM. It is looking to set a material float on the owner, which is this chest epic gold, and it's not finding any material at index 0. And sure enough, we don't have a material on this top level. We have a material on the children. All the children have materials, so what we need to do is we need to actually find the children at this level and store those so that we can then set material floats on them. So this find child, which was being used to set the point light, all right, we don't have a point light, so we can repurpose this find child to store the chest epic. So let's go to our variables and let's rename point light to this will be the chest body, and we'll also need another one for the lid because this treasure chest is in 2 pieces. It opens and closes. So let's make another game object variable for the lid as well. Okay, back over to the state. Find child. We want to find by name. We're looking for chest underscore epic. It's important that you get the name right. It is case sensitive and spelling matters. Okay, so we got chest epic, and we need another find child. So let's copy this action, paste action after, and we want chest epic underscore lid. Yes, we do. That is what it's called. Okay. and we want to store the result in chest lid. So we have chest body and chest lid. Set material float, we don't want to use owner. Drop down, specify game object. This button here lets us use a variable, which is what we want. We want the chest body, we want index 0, outline width, that's good. Let's copy this set material float, paste action after, specify game object, good. We want the lid instead now, excellent. Okay, this we're not doing a light, so we don't need to set a light intensity. Select that action and delete it. Or remove action if your delete key is not working. Sometimes for some reason the delete key doesn't work. And we also don't need a set material float for the emission. That's not useful to us either. This set FSM int. So we are going to be using this this integer to determine what state our chest is in. So right now it's called light state, and it's looking for the FSM light switch. We no longer have an FSM named light switch. We have one named interactive treasure chest. So let's do the pull down. Select our interactive treasure chest. The light state, we need to go and rename this variable. Let's rename it to chest state. All right. Okay, this state looks good. Let's go to the next one. All right, this wants to do a set material float for our listen states. So let's go up here where we have these two set material floats on our init state. We've got the chest body and chest lid ones. Copy these actions, select both of them, right click, copy selected actions, hop over to listen, delete this guy, paste actions. All right, move over to mouse over, get rid of this set material float, paste actions before, or just paste actions. Move this guy down so it occurs after. Okay. And we want these to be, since we're on the mouse over state, we want to have some width to our outline. Let's change it to 0.08 and 0.08 for the lid as well. Okay. Take a quick look at listen, make sure everything is good there. Everything's good on mouse over. Let's do a quick test to see how we're doing here. Cleaning up these errors. Okay, it's looking for missing variable light state. Okay. So, InteractiveChest initialize set FSM int. Yeah, variable name, we forgot to change that. It's looking for light state. We want chest state. Hooray for naming things. Okay, it was easy to find. Try it again. Okay. Mouse over just fine now. It throws errors when we try to click on it. That's fine. We'll fix these now. All right. Chest state. Okay, so our int compare on the toggle, that updated just fine. When we changed the name of our variable, it also changed it wherever that variable was being used. That's called refactoring. That's something you can also do in Visual Studio with writing C# code and other programming languages. All right, so here we're having the error with the set material float for the emission. We're not doing emission on this, so let's delete the float here and the set material float here. All right, so we're also looking at so it wants to set the light intensity as well. We don't need that. This set FSM int, it doesn't exist. Let's get the right FSM, the right variable. Want the interactive treasure chest, which is our FSM, and the chest state, which is our variable. Do the same thing up here. We have no light intensity that we're checking. Interactive treasure chest and chest state. Okay. So the next thing to do is we need to right now, it's not doing anything other than just setting the token value of, hey, the chest is open, the chest is closed. So let's have it play the chest animation when it's open. So go to Animator in the search window, Animator play. This plays the state, just like we did in lesson 3. Want one of those on light off as well. And if we look at the animator, our states are just open and close. So we are on light off. Let's rename this too. We don't want it to be light off. We want it to be chest close. State name. Let's see, was it capitalized? It was capitalized, yes. Close, press enter. Chest open. Rename it. Very important. And we want to play open. Okay. Push play, see what happens. Alright. Chest opens and closes. Restored our functionality. We've repurposed this FSM. Let's add a little bit of polish. So there was a sound file in the assignment on Blackboard. It's got kind of a weird name. It's from a free sound library called, I think, SoundForge. I'll put a link up to it so you guys can browse through and look for sound files on there, and lots of nice free royalty-free sounds you can use, for whatever you want. So let's add on the chest open and the chest close. Let's add an action to play that sound file. Add action to state. Oh, important note real quick. I just put that that sound file. So here we are in our assets main folder. If we go into our treasure chest folder, which should be in your main assets folder, please do not put the treasure chest folder in assignment 3 or assignment 4. It will bloat up my the project I have set up for grading everybody's work and slow me down a little bit. So please make sure your treasure chest is outside. It's sitting in the assets, in the root of the assets. If you go into treasure chest folder, just drop the sound in here too, so that it's hanging out with the rest of the treasure chest associated assets. Okay, so back to our prefab in our scene. On chest open, we have play sound. If you push this little button next to it, the little circle, it'll open a browser to the sounds. You can select our temporary or Wood Creek here. And let's copy this action and paste it into the close as well, because we want that sound to play when it opens and closes. Alright, let's check it out. There it is. Plays a sound when it opens and closes. Now it doesn't line up. So if you watch and listen, the chest finishes opening and closing before the sound finishes playing. In the animator window, which you can get through Window Animator, you have speed options on these states for your open and close animation. You can change these to increase how quickly or slowly the animation plays back. So to make it line up with the sound better, you need to decrease the speed. Now I'm going to leave that as an exercise for you guys to play with and determine what the proper values are. So you'll need to pay attention to how quickly it's opening and closing and listen. Okay? And as you can see here, once you've selected a state, you can go back to the scene view, hit play, and your state will stay there. And you can do some adjustments. Okay. That's too slow. But remember, whatever changes you make while you're playing, like see, I'm making changes right now. I changed it from 1 to 0.2 and I'm playing. When I go out of play mode, is it going to make a liar out of me? I hope not. Oh, yeah, it stayed. I must have done that. That normally doesn't do that. But be aware, in most parts of Unity, when you change something during play, I'll do it during open and we'll see if it does it. If you change something during play mode, there's no guarantee that it's going to stay after you exit play mode. Alright, well, it stayed for that, so lucky us. But yeah, to find the good values, it's not 0.2. 0.2 opens way too slow, guys. So don't turn in something at 0.2. You know the answer is not 1 and you know it's not 0.2 there. It's a little bit of a head start. Find the sweet spot of how fast the animation opens and closes. do your best with that, and then we'll turn the assignment in. So, turning in the assignment. I'm gonna go over this again in case there's questions about how to do this. Save your scene once you've got everything the way you want it. So this is A-able assignment 4, save scene. In the assets folder, right click, come on, show in Explorer, opens on my other monitor, drag this over. Alright, so we want to select assignment 4 and its associated metadata. Alright, right click, send to compressed zipped folder. And then you want to turn that into me. It made a 2 because I've already got one of these in here apparently. But it won't have that 2 after it for you. And then turn in this to me on Blackboard. Alright? Thanks. Okay, one more thing for your treasure chest. You've done a lot of work on this, getting it to this point. So let's make a prefab out of it. Select it in the hierarchy view and drag it down into the treasure chest folder. And it will make a new prefab in your project. Now rename this from Chest Epic Gold 1 to _interactive. Alright, now let's try that out real quick. Drag another from Chest Epic Interactive into the hierarchy. And get a third one in there. Press play. And you've got multiple treasure chests. Pretty fun. Alright. Okay, I also have an extra credit challenge for you if you finish with the treasure chest early. I know some of you have already done it, so please take a crack at this. You've done a lot of work getting the treasure chest up to this point and making it interactive, but it's time to add some game functionality to it. So this is a treasure chest that spawns an object that could be treasure. So you click it, you open it, and out comes the treasure. It throws to the left and it throws to the right in alternating cycles. And it's got some other controls here I'll show you in a minute. And once it's done, it will remove itself from the scene. There it goes. Okay. So the treasure spawner is a separate game object that lives under the hierarchy of the treasure chest itself. I'm not going to show you the FSM, but I'm going to show you the controls that I want you guys to have and to account for. So it can spawn. I can control how much treasure is spawned, the time between the spawns, and what gets spawned. So these are 3 variables that you'll need to include in your FSM and give the designer control over. So I can just change these to, let's have 5 treasures and they will spawn 1 second apart, and it will spawn, let's say, a sphere instead. Hit play. Alright, it's launching them far, but you get the idea. With one object, you have control. Ooh, it launched them way over there. Fun. Alright, so make that happen, and I'll give you a good amount of extra credit. I'll make it worth your time. One thing that I need to add about doing the extra credit is you will need to use ecosystem to solve the problem of throwing to the left and throwing to the right. That's all hint I'm going to give you on there. I want to make sure you understand that you need to use ecosystem to get this done.